Hey, what is up, everyone? It's Rich. All right, welcome to the video. I bumped around a lot of ideas of what I was going to do today. I was actually originally going to do a journey of 1,000 miles, which is kind of like a pep talk type video. And I don't even know what really made me think of this, but all of a sudden I was like, I should do Richard Corben because people have been asking for Corben forever, and my rap always is that I don't have a great Richard Corben collection, and the collection of Corben that I do have is extremely spread out over like heavy metal magazines and just random stuff. They actually at Comic Con, I think maybe the last one, not this summer, but the summer before, Stuart Ng had a there was a gallery show that they did over in Italy, I think, or France, of Corben's work, and they had done a beautiful hardcover book of all the art that was in the exhibition. I didn't end up getting it. It honestly didn't compile enough pieces that really blew me away. It sounds weird to say that because he's fantastic. What I mean is, it's just I didn't see myself where the value of spending like 100 or 150 bucks on the book. I was going to look at it that often. So, um, what's nice about this is we can look. I'm on Yandex. I'll recommend this to people too. Someone had suggested this to me. So Yandex is like a Google, search engine type thing. But when you go to images and then click on size, their large is as large as what's on the internet, which is quite nice. So you can actually find stuff that it's actually bigger here than sometimes what you can find on Google. Not always. I mean, sometimes it's the same exact images, but I would say that you have a higher likelihood of finding a quote unquote high res file, if there's one that's been posted online. So yeah, so this is going to be a nice treat for me. I don't often look at Richard Corben's work, but I think he's amazingly talented. He's gone through a lot of iterations. I would say that what I'm seeing here is more in line to the work that I like from him. But I mean, he's been working in comics for probably, geez, I don't know, 40 years. At least 30, maybe 35. I don't know. I mean, he was working way before I broke in. But he's insanely talented. So this is going to be fun. I guess we'll just start here and we'll just start working our way across. I'm going to keep my eye on the clock. So it's 10:24. I'll do till 11 o'clock. So we'll get like 35-minute video. But yeah, settle in and let's look at some Corben. This is could almost be a reaction video for me because some of these pieces I've seen, but I would say most I haven't. All right, so this is a painting, very early Frazetta inspired. Funny enough, Frank did a bunch of Tarzan. We can open the big file. Yeah, I'm not going to save them now. I may come back and actually save a lot of these images later. But yeah, a lot of Frank's early Tarzan paintings look like this. The color palette is similar. The actual strokey sort of nature of the paint application is similar, and you can really see he can't even really blend paint that well yet. But that's how Frank learned too. You know, you've got to crawl before you run. Anatomy is on point on this. It's very cool. I like all this, and it looks nice. You know, it's a nice piece. So let's shut these. Opened a bunch of peripheral images. Turtles. So this is 1990. This piece was 30 freaking years ago. I don't know. We don't really need to look this bigger. I can tell now what. Unless the file is super huge, I won't need to go to the next screen. This is nice. I actually like it when artists date their work. It sounds funny, but as someone as a as a YouTuber, and especially when we're looking at art, it is kind of fun to put it in a time frame. So this was 35 years ago. Holy cow, that's forever. This almost reminds me of like something that you would see on like a Dungeons and Dragons module, and really beautiful. This is such classic Corben right here. This arm, this beautiful kind of shading that he does on it, and this too. Corben is legit, man. I know that the people that are fans of his work are probably very excited that I'm doing this video for us. This is 1980. God, it's 40 years ago. And this is, to me, this is a very different style than some of his other stuff. This is kind of what like his art looks like to me now more. It's like he almost, and I've said this about other artists too. There's a weird thing that happens with artists is you start out and you have these natural isms in your stuff. Isms meaning there's a natural way that you draw. There's a natural way that your people look and stuff like that. And as hard as you try and as much information as you learn, that is still in you, but you can kind of bury it with all these new techniques and all the information that you stack on top of it. But as you go further into your career and you stop practicing as much and you're not drawing as much, all of those isms will come back. And I've seen artists go from, humble beginnings to phenomenal, and then you see their work and you go, wow, this is really, really weird. This looks a lot like their earliest work. And you see all those traits coming back, and this is a pretty funny piece. I saw this online, ironically, a week or two ago somewhere else, and it's a hard one to forget once you see it. This is really cool. It's funny because this has a little bit of, what I'm going to say. It's like it has a Boris vibe, but it's like it's got the Frazetta vibe, but it's more like it's funneled through Boris. But this cape is really, really freaking cool. These figures are great too. I've always been curious if, I would assume that Corben hired models at some point in his career, or just had tons and tons of books and magazines that he would reference. But more likely than not, he probably had models. I don't know. I would only be speculating though. But see, like this looks more like a creative drawing to me. It's very, very well done. This cape, in fact, is beautiful. As funny as I don't know if the piece will be in these files. I'll kind of look for it. It's funny. All the suggestions are Frazetta pieces, but oh, okay. I don't know if I want to go this route though. I'm scared it's gonna skip images. No, you know what? Maybe it doesn't. All right, that's cool. If it, oh, you know what? If it does actually slide, that's actually really, really helpful. Again, if you want to come back to Yandex and pull any of these, you can always download it here. But yeah, this is just incredible. But this doesn't look really referenced to me. This just looks like a guy that really knows how to paint anatomy well. You know, so it's an interesting thing with Corben. Corben is a perplexing individual, and then stuff like this, it's like, I don't know what year did it is, 93, but this looks like a 3D model. So that was always trippy to me too, because I would go like, this looks like digital art. In 93, I guess you could be doing digital art, but like, if anyone knows what went on with Corben's work, I would be highly fascinated, because it is something that I've always wondered, because this looks like a poser model to me. I know it's not though. What I'm just saying is, like, even the way that it's lit, it's like, did he create models? I don't know what he did. It's very weird, but it looks like digital art. It's a weird thing. His color palette, it's funny, is I'm friends with Brad Rigney, although I haven't talked to him in a while, but if you know Crypt Crawler, Brad Rigney, he's a really, really incredible and highly, highly respected fantasy artist. Does a lot of stuff for Magic the Gathering and stuff like that. He's been like the cover artist and for like the box and stuff like that. He's legit. He's a huge Corben fan. I met him on DeviantArt, and I've told this story before. It's worth telling, but it shows my personality with this. Is I saw Brad on DeviantArt, and he had not a lot of art up, maybe 6 to 8 pieces. They were all quite good, and almost no following. So I reached out to him. I was like, dude, you are a badass. I don't know what's going on. And he had gone into like a hibernation mode, where he basically took like multiple years and just worked on his art. We have very similar personalities. We're hyper critical and super driven, and so it's like, you're ultimately challenging yourself. I want to go back to this piece and look at it big, because this is really beautiful, and I see there's a huge file. But it's a tough way to work. I think Brad kind of tortures himself with the quality control that he keeps on his work, but at the same time, the results are phenomenal. He's a trippy dude though, but yeah, he was a huge Corben fan. But Brad's work is like that too, where it's like, you look at it and you go, this has got to be a computer. Like, how does a human even draw like this? But it's just, they get so good that they can actually make it look like that. It's insane, but it is possible. His lighting is so kick-ass. Oh, I hope there's a few Corben experts in the group. Let me know, man. it's been such a big curiosity to me about his work. And do we know why he drifts in styles so much at times? Because he can clearly draw his ass off, but then like he'll do like Hellboy, and it looks completely different. It's almost like he has multiple personalities, and they come through in his art. I heard he's very, very reclusive, and I read an interview with someone who had worked with him. It was either a writer or another artist that hired him. I don't think it was Mignola, but he sounds like an interesting guy. This is really, really cool. Look at the freaking arm anatomy there is so freaking cool. Look at the gap. It literally looks like bone, sinew, and vein and muscle. Like, I mean, he nailed that. That is so freaking on point. He does a lot of nudity too. Actually, you know what? I would say that the first time I saw his work was probably in the Heavy Metal movie, or like something sort of from his work. This is cool. It's funny because this has a little bit of a oh god, what is his name? A little plug, but then it's the oh god, what was his name? He was friends with Jeff Jones. James will know. James, who am I thinking of? The artist who is friends with Jeff Jones. Von Bode, right? Or Bodie? Von Bode. It has a little bit of a Von Bode vibe to me too. This is funny. It reminds me of, there was a character for Continuity called Megalith. I don't know, he's got a little bit of a Megalith or He-Man vibe. That is funny shit. That is such a corny design for a character. If you're a hardcore fan, I apologize, but it just looks funny to me. He's like loincloth, gauntlets, and then he's totally like a pro wrestler. This is really cool. I hope that they have the piece that I'm thinking of. I may actually try to look for it. I hope I remember. Actually, you know what? Let me bail out of this for 1 sec. I think I can do it, right? Yeah, let me see if I can find this cover. I want to show you this piece because I saw it online and I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Who the hell drew this? There's probably not a huge scan of it. Let me search really quick. Richard Corben, Heavy Metal. And then I might have to change the size of the... hopefully someone scanned it big. This cover right here. Dude, I saw this. And this is another one of those pieces where it's like, it looks like it was, I know he drew this though, but like, who the fuck draws shit like this? Look at the rocks. This is Maxfield Parrish level detail here. This is fine art. It's a fantasy and comic related, but this is fine art. This is gallery level shit. The rocks here are fucking unreal. These figures are like insane. It is such a beautiful piece. Yeah, I saw this online and I figured it was Corben. I don't know. Does he have a signature? He does have a signature on it. Yeah, I bought the magazine on probably eBay or something, but I just couldn't get over it. But like, this is like something like if I saw it now, I would go, oh, okay, the guy's definitely, they're like ZBrush models or they're poser models. Corben had like the mind of a freaking computer or something. I don't even get it. Look at the lighting on these rocks. Unbelievable. But I had to show you guys that. That was important to me. Thank you. Thank you for coming on that journey with me. Okay, so let's take out Heavy Metal and go back to our big images. Size. Large. Okay, cool. We're good. And I think we were right about here. Yeah. All right, let's go, friends. Oh, wait. Wait, what is going on? Oh, okay. Here we go. Okay. This is nice. Lots of detail on this. It's deceiving because it's kind of cartoony, but this is a lot of work. Like every square inch of the piece is got like the Bill Stout like attention to detail on it. Man, like the dinosaur and stuff. This is fun. Oh man, I'm actually glad I picked this. This looks like it could have been maybe like he hired a model for this, but you can kind of tell the characters and stuff like that look a little more drawn. He's really good with fabric too. And this is nice, beautiful. I love it. It's just very spontaneous looking. The sky. This is nice too. And you see how cartoony this is though? And even like what year is this? Maybe this isn't Corben. Or is it some rich Capson? Thank you, Malware Bites. I guess it says Corben there. I don't see a date, but this looks different. This almost looks like airbrush. Oh, I would love to talk to this guy. See this too. Like this looks like early 3D or something. Am I tripping? Like what is this? It's so weird, but cool at the same time. Look at the fucking anatomy on this thing. It's so bloopy, but like in a good way. I'm not saying like in a bad way, but the shapes are so fucking chunky. And he puts like, look, you see like the wrinkles of the flesh on the skin right here, and the lighting is so fucking good. Look at the boot, or yeah, his booty. Like you can see that that's like hide, and it's been stitched together. That is such a nice attention to detail. So this is like it says 98. So I'm assuming he painted this in like Photoshop. I don't even know. And this is 77, but it's structurally it's similar though. You know what I'm saying? He really understood how to light form. Man, it's nuts. Head's a little big on this figure, but it's all right. The ear is a little weird too, but look at the body. The body here is just amazing. He must have had bodybuilder friends. He's like, come over to my house. I'll buy you a 6-pack of beer or protein drinks. You can run around in a leotard for the day. This is cool. I've seen this before. This is an interesting style. He didn't do a ton of pieces in this style, but hopefully these come up. Or let's see. Look at that. Isn't that nice? This one, I think, is one of my favorites. Yeah, it's a shame it's not bigger. All right, let's go back so we keep looking at the big files. All right. That's right. Yeah. Oh, it's funny. It's very Frazetta. I didn't realize. I mean, this was kind of Frazetta, but when you see it like this, it's definitely... Man, this is so cool. This is interesting, too, because, like, people will think of Frazetta when they see this, but it reminds me of a couple of things. One, it reminds me of Maxfield Parrish, and also if you've ever seen Led Zeppelin Houses of the Holy, the inner gatefold for that record, which is done by Hypnosis, Storm Thorgerson, and Aubrey Powell. They would do these beautiful photographs, but they would also paint on top of them and like airbrush. But the inner gatefold of Houses of the Holy is one of my favorite pieces of art ever. It's this guy holding like a I don't know if it's like a dead girl or something like over his head at this like big monolithic like castle. It's really cool. This is crazy. So again, different style. It's a little more buttery. Buttery meaning just it's everything is very smooth. And it looks a little more airbrushy to me. Still very well done. Oh, look at that. Yeah. Yeah, that is really cool. That's cool too. Again, it's like, why is her head so big? He clearly did it on purpose. He has such a weird sense of aesthetics. It's really trippy to me. But it almost is like a caricature. Look at the tree. This tree is painted like, again, this is fine art. There's fine art painters that would love to be able to paint texture like this, and we'll never get to that point, you know. We saw this already. This is nice too. See, then this is 1989, but like I don't know what he does. This is interesting. There's a reflection on this. Like this is maybe someone took a photo of the painting. And what's crazy too is this stuff all exists on paper. Somewhere this is on a piece of artboard, either at his house or in some collector's house. That is just so cool to me. Look at the lighting on this. It reminds me a little bit of what is his name? Mark Kostabi. He did the Use Your Illusion albums. He's a very controversial pop artist because he doesn't paint his own work. He just concepts it and hires like art students to paint it. He's really good though, actually, or his idea is good. I doubt most people here know who Mark Kostabi is. It's a Kostabi. I actually like his art. It's or whatever you want to call it. This is interesting. This looks like this is 83. It's funny. It looks very like Fat Freddy, like that stoner art stuff. This is really cool texture here. This is nice. Man, he does great reptiles. Ooh, that's cool. 77. Yeah, this has a little bit of the Von Bode thing too. Yeah, and these got real cartoony. It's interesting. I wonder if he decides when he's doing the piece that he's going to go this route, or just based on the amount of time that he has, he'll go this way. I don't know what the decision making process is. It's rare to see someone fluctuate so much from what I would consider pretty insane realism. I want to see what this is. Okay. Like I said, I want to stick with the big files if possible. This is nice. Okay. Oh man, look at that. She's kind of got a crazy face. Looks a little like a Robert Crumb drawing. His lighting is so on point. He's got this really, really subtle, like, core shadow right here running through all the detail. This is nice too. This is beautiful, this deep shadow right here. Good stuff. Oh yeah, there it is. So nice. Actually, this right here is really, really cool. And he draws really, really killer women's bodies. This is nice. Yeah, the 70s created like these wild, like rainbow palettes. They're probably all on like psychedelics or something. That's cool. That's nuts. Knuckin' Futs. That's cool. The cloak is great. Man alive. That is really, really neat. Oh my god, I am so excited to have Blaster Kid in people's hands. We're going to start talking about it. Like I said, my goal was the 21st. We're going to start kicking around ideas for the tiers. And, I'll talk about it for a second while we're looking at the art for people who are stuck about, man, that is awesome. This is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I had mentioned that, there were a few things that were holding me up on it. But one of the things that's actually really, really terrifying about actually doing a crowdfunded book is fulfillment. And it's not so much packing and shipping this stuff. I was terrified by the actual amount of correspondence involved. I mean, if you sell 1,000 or 2,000 books on your own or whatever it is, I mean, I would feel very fortunate to have those kind of numbers. But I don't even know, like, how do you handle that many emails and addresses? It just freaked me out. No, it didn't freak me out, but it was like, that was a huge hurdle for me mentally. Was just printing out shipping labels and going like, God, like, is this stuff going to get to these people? And making sure that the stuff isn't damaged. I mean, a comic book, even if it's in a trade format, is a fragile thing, to get to someone safely. So, sounds dumb, but little things can really hang you up where you just go, oh man, I don't know. That doesn't seem possible. I don't know. I'm not the person that could actually pull that off, but was one of the fears that I had to get over. It was a big one too, honestly. I would put that in the top 3 things. The other was just incredibly picky about like what I consider good. We'll call it the Brad Rigney syndrome. And Brad disappeared from online again too. I haven't seen him really pop up in like 2 or 3 years. It's kind of sad because he's so freaking talented. Look him up online. His stuff is nuts. But you'll see the Corben influence. But it's Brad Rigney, Rigney. He's great. I should shoot him a note. Say hi. No, I'm thinking of him. That's cool. Is this Meatloaf Bat Out of Hell? I can't remember who did the cover for that. I don't even know really the piece of art, honestly. Maybe it's just something similar. Let me see. Bat Out of Hell. Wow. Okay. I didn't realize Corben did the cover for that. He's the fat guy in Fight Club. His name was Robert Paulson. Wow, look at that. Holy shit. That's really cool. Soft edges, hard edges. Harder. Wow, that's interesting. It's funny too because he's actually this character is in the foreground, and yet he actually dissolved him pretty hard right here. It's actually funny. This is it's funny is one of the huge hurdles that I had to face with my own art is that I actually love diffusion and things sort of disintegrating into space. You know, as they move back and like misty, really kind of atmospheric things. That's a very, very difficult effect to get in pen and ink. Obviously with the digital color, you can go in and mist things. I'm not saying this is digital color, but it's a decent enough example of like, if this was a black and white piece and you were just doing it in pen and ink and you wanted this smoky quality through your actual line art, like that's a hard thing to get. And that was actually kind of fucking me up too, because I have a very clear vision of what I wanted the art to look like, and then actually achieving that without really a role model for it was very, very difficult. Because I want it in pen and ink. I don't want wash. I don't want any of that stuff on my pieces or tonal, like Copic or anything like that. I want it to all be just like black and white, either like rendered in detail, or that kind of thing. No pencil shading on it or something. For me, I mean, it's fine. This is great. He really is good with capes. Man alive. This is fascinating to look at. This is so cool. Time is it? Cool. We have 13 more minutes. Settle in, friends. Grab yourself something to drink. Do it. It's pretty creepy. Oh, look at this. Oh, we can go real big on this. Look at this. This is gonna be a huge file. Not now, Yandex. I will probably have to sign up though. You're making me want to do it just so I don't have that pop up. This is pretty cool. This looks like airbrush for sure. And then this is splatter, and this is probably hand painted. This is nice. I like this right here. This is real pretty. And this is the other thing with Blaster Kid. I'm so fucking excited to do it. Not do it. What I mean is get it out. But I'm like, what if I am actually able to really live my dream? And I have, like, honestly, I'm not even exaggerating. Like, I've seen myself, and it's a weird comparison to make because I don't want it to be confused. I'm not saying that I would ever be able to achieve the quality of someone like Jack Kirby, but it's like I have a lot of fucking comic book stories written, tons. I could do a whole universe. I've talked about it in other videos that I could easily. I mean, at some point, I may just have to write some of the stories for other people to draw, or give the stories to other people to draw. But I mean, like after Blaster Kid, if I fulfill the story, I don't want to get too in depth with it because it's I don't want to spoil anything for that. But you know what I mean? Like it's like what if I did a sci-fi book after that? Like a really good space adventure or something. Like, I mean, it's like, dude, any possibility is possible. That's freaking cool. Let's see if we can look at this bigger. This is a nice piece. Oh, it's not too big. This is really, really nicely done. I love this, the warm lighting coming through here, and then the cave is much cooler. This is beautiful right here. This is what I'm talking about with that really ethereal quality, but yet there's a lot of hard lines. So he did this in 2014. Again, it's this multiple personality approach to his work that I find so interesting. This is nice. Man, he is so freaking talented. Or accomplished. Remember, we don't say talented. It gives the wrong impression. And this is from the same year, same character, but really different style. It's a weird comparison. It has like a little tiny bit of like a Bisley thing, where it's like, I mean, look at how simple this is. It's really trippy. This is nice. This is a little piecemeal. Like her head doesn't fit on her body so good, and the cat's a little simplistic. He may have rushed this through though, like didn't have forever to do it. It's hard to say. This is like kind of that early Frazetta Tarzan looking stuff. It's interesting because he actually has a lot of nudity in his work, and I'm assuming Yandex is somehow filtering it out. So you may be able to turn on like sort of a safe search versus unsafe, although there are boobs. This is nice. The Odyssey. Oh, I love stuff like this. Corben. Man, Corben's good. A world peace treaty was signed on this spot by all the nations of the earth. Oh, interesting. So this is like the earth, but we're gone. I love sci-fi. Trust me, I've got a good sci-fi book in me. I will assure you of that. It'll be so fucking badass. Oh my god, look at this. This is great. I've seen this piece a lot. This isn't a great scan of it. It's a little dull. God. Oh, I remember this piece. This has got similarities to that heavy metal cover that I bought. It's different, but like some of this is actually a little bit reminiscent of it. It's just this is a much tighter shot of the same thing. 1972. In 1972, he was doing this shit. That's 48 years ago. That's cool. And you see how detailed this is? This is from... It either says 98 or 81. I can't read it. Oh, this is a Tomo, so this is probably 91. Or wait, no, I'm sorry. This is Arzak. I saw a Tomo up here. Why does it say homage to Mobius by Atomo? It says Richard Corben. I don't know. I'm getting confused. This is definitely Corben. But again, this has a little tiny bit of that weird sort of 3D like lighting to me, but I don't think that it is. I just think it's the way that he lights stuff. Wow, look at this. This is so Frazetta, but god damn, it's good. And a little Borisy, just because it's tighter with a little more realism. Jesus Christ, this guy's good. Frazetta just owned fantasy art. It's so funny. Like, man, he put his stamp on it, and it's like, it's impossible to draw dudes with spears or half-naked guys running around fighting and not have it look somewhat like Frazetta in some way. Although I'm sure people could give me examples of people that do it that it doesn't. But yeah, Frank really took a genre and just went like, put his stamp on it. This is really cool too. Wow. I don't know how many of you follow video games, but some of the space video games out there, there's one, I can't think of the name of the game off the top of my head. It's Robert Industries is putting it out, or I always get updates from them. It's a beautiful game, but it's like it was like a I think it's the highest crowdfunded video game ever, but it's like never going to come out. People suspect, but they have playable demos of it online. It's huge, and stuff like that. Man, it's so beautiful. It looks so freaking good. It's just I see it and I go, man, that is a playground for characters. You put characters in these amazing worlds flying around in space. It's so badass. We saw that one already. Wow, look at this. This is really cool. What an interesting piece. I'm gonna have to go back and save all this stuff now. You guys realize that. I'll do it tonight. I won't do it today. I gotta be drawn. I'm working on my own stuff today. Yeah, this is very, very inspiring. I won't look at this stuff for like 2 or 3 years, but there's that level of comfort that you have it in case it gets pulled from the internet forever. See, this is very Borisy too. I wonder. I don't know what year Boris was working. He's got a guitar. Bad for Good, 81. Okay, so 81. It's interesting. Yeah, it's funny. What year was Boris? Did Boris pop up? Was he in the late 70s? Here we go. This is some of his Hellboy stuff. So this is the stuff he's been doing the last few years. But you figure Corben at this point, if he's been working for 48 years, he could be 70 some odd years old. It's pretty incredible. I don't even know if I've ever seen a picture of Richard Corben, to be honest. This is very cool. And there's our little bald lady. That's an interesting piece. It's like she's in a t-shirt. She has tennis shoes on. She's probably naked under this based on what I'm seeing here. But then there's these weird like stitches on the shirt. And the bald head is kind of weird. And then she's friends with a bear. That's interesting. Like weird. Very weird piece. This is great. So now he signs his name Corb. This is nice. The hands are fantastic. The lighting on him is great. It's got a little tiny bit of like a bowling feel, but man, that's a great design. And those worms are creepy. Oh, let's do this. Hey, look at those worms. Man, that is some wild shit. Oh, and they're eating. I didn't really see this. Look at the flesh. Dang him. Oh, I was gonna go escape. Let me shut these. Oh, that's cool. A page of original art. That's nice. That's a nice. Here we go. Bruce Jones. I don't know who that is. Sounds weird. Gore, 75. Bruce Jones. The name sounds somewhat familiar, but I don't know. So what do you guys think? Did you like the Corben? I know there's a lot of hardcore fans that have been Corben fans for many, many years. Oh, it's interesting. So on this cover, he's blue. It definitely looks better with this blue color than the purple. I will say that. I think this is a little better. It's a combination of things. His face looks a little like Fred Flintstone, like John Goodman when he was Fred Flintstone, or like I don't know, like there's another actor I'm thinking of, but his hair is funny. The expression on his face is funny. The blue right across the middle of his face is killing me. Oh, that's cool. Damn, the lighting on this is great. Oh, those shadows. Oh man, that's so cool. Interesting. Yeah, that's good. What's nice too is if any of the stuff is pulled down, we have it archived in this video. I forgot about that. Oh yeah, here's a closer shot of this piece. And you can actually see the detail a little bit better. I was gonna, the other scam was a little tiny bit dark, but again, I mean, I'm just absolutely stunned by the level of quality on this piece. I think it's freaking gorgeous. It's like I said, it's rare that I would collect art, but I would dig pretty deep for this if this was like a piece that was available for sale. Like, if the timing was right, man, this would be one to go for. And there's a lot more of the piece that's not shown in that version. This is nice. Oh wow, look at that. I've never seen this piece. That is really freaking cool. Oh, and that was what I was where I was going with the space thing is I was really excited for No Man's Sky before that game came out. I was just like, I want to see what this is really quick. Oh, it's really really cool. Wish we could see it bigger. But this is kind of like in a nutshell my Corben collection previously was stuff like this, so wasn't very video friendly because the scans are so small. But yeah, the potential that No Man's Sky had before the game was released, although they've actually done a lot of patches and upgrades to it, but it was basically a universe. Oh, cool! So we can't see it bigger. Yeah, it was like literally like you could fly just forever. It was go to a planet, see what's on it. It was all randomly generated, so it would never be the same, but it ended up being a bit of a disaster. Kind of like this. But yeah, sci-fi and this stuff is just so cool. That's really creepy. Oh wow, look at that. He's so good with just the black and white pen and ink stuff. Funny little digital grad on it. This is cool. That is a nice figure. Damn. That's really cool too. Hot ladies with the anthology of slow death. What time is it? It's 11. All right, we'll do like 5 more pieces, and then I should get rolling on Blaster Kid. Da-na-na-na. I've seen a few scans of this. Whoever had it, it must have been selling the magazine or the print, and they took like super high-res photos. This is funny. Is it Sasquatch? It's Bigfoot. That's cool. That's funny. Alright. Very Frazetta. But not Frazetta 2. Oh, that's cool. I actually like his color palette that he chooses. It's usually pretty muted. I mean, it might not be his colors, but he tends to gravitate towards pretty interesting colors. Even in the early days, the weird rainbowy effect that he would do is actually kind of cool. This is nice. What is going on here? Is he carrying? Is that, what is that? Is that an arm? That, so this is the wolf guy's hand, and he's carrying this guy off. Oh, maybe that's his. I don't know what that is. Let me see if we can zoom in. Now I need to know. What is that? I'm assuming his arm is going around. He's holding it. Maybe that's the guy's leg? Or his other arm? I can't tell. Oh, wow, look at that. Damn. That is really, really cool. Holy shit. Could definitely say, I'm sure Bisley as a teenager was probably pretty blown away by Corben. Corben and Frazetta for sure. This is more recent. He's done a lot of Hellboy stuff. This is nice. This is James Bond. Look at his hairdo. He's like the $6 million man or something. This is nice right here. This shadow dropping on the finger. This is cool too. Oh wow, that's cool. I like that he like all these old school like paperback or magazine covers are actually really really neat. Like this is another one. This is great. Wow, so is this a comic book? Jan Strand, that's or Stranad. I know the name. I'm not 100% sure. I've definitely got comic books that person worked on. Jan, is it a guy? Jan Strand, or a woman? I always thought it was a woman for years, but now I'm actually thinking that maybe it could be a man. I don't know. This is really cool. Man, this is really nice actually. I can't stop. This is great. 1981. Wow. That's really cool. Okay. Oh, what is that? Well, I don't understand why they don't do a big ass art book of this guy, like for everyone, you know? Like the Brian Bolland art book, just a freaking packed. He's too good to not have it. This is interesting. Wow. I think this was the character that was in the heavy metal movie. Oh, I'm pretty sure Den, right? This is all very, very cool. I can't stop. Oh my god. Like seriously, we'll end on this piece, but this is like N.C. Wyeth level shit. Andrew Wyeth. I mean, that is just masterfully painted. God damn. Looks like Roger Waters a little bit. Mother, do you think they'll drop the bomb? Yeah, this is amazing. Alright, let's see. Can we get a little bigger on this? Open it. Alright, that's the grand finale image. I guess we can't get any bigger. Corben is a badass. What does his wallet say? Bad mofo. Hopefully that was fun to watch. It felt a little jerky to me. I think my narration was so-so. I tried my best, but I think I'm so excited to get drawing that it's actually hard for me to like chill right now. What did I say? I want to punch someone in the face and I want to draw. So, all right, have a great day. I hope that was fun to look at. It was very inspiring to me. I'll be thinking about these images all day, as you should be too if you've done the test. You put some of this in your DNA, forget about it. You're going to be a badass. All right, have a great day. I love you all, and thank you for 15,000 subs and the 1,000,000 views. We're getting there. The 1,000,000 views will take a little bit longer, though. I don't know how fast I rack up views, honestly. I don't really follow the metrics. All right, later.